we're in early mid-April right now. So you'll see I do have the stakes in here, and I've got the frost cloth right there. I've got the hay bale up against that back side. And we also do have a little electric heater that I keep in here for the cold nights that has a temperature gauge set to only turn on if it's below 50 degrees. So everything else in here is going pretty good. Greenstalk's doing well. I need to transplant my lettuce starts. So I started doing this with my lettuce starts last year, and it's worked really, really well. So I just use these little 3 or 4 inch pots, and I just dump a whole bunch of seeds in, mixtures of seeds, and then I transplant them out in little corner chunks as needed. So I will be doing that. And then here's our mustard greens. And these are a great size now to actually start cutting for salads. So just show you. This is probably like a perfect size baby a baby salad mix. So we'll start cutting those, and then you'll see I have a whole bunch of spinach here coming in, some lettuce coming in, a bunch of baby carrots, these guys right here, and even a ton more baby carrots in the back there. I mentioned it earlier video, but if you missed that, the baby carrots are, all the seed carrots I put in here are really going to be harvested young. So these will be close, but probably be pretty small when I want to harvest them, because this space in the hoop house is very valuable to us as far as actually planting peppers and different things in here. So this will be a later bed that I'm planting this year, probably with some cucumbers and different things like that. And then we also have the tomatoes will actually go in here into one of these bigger beds sooner, and we're still figuring out the lower and lean anchoring system on the top of how we're going to do that. But those tomatoes I'll probably try to plant them here in the hoop house in the next week or so, as I'm starting to harden off a bunch of stuff out here. So lots going on. Still have to replace this whole section here. We're not going to plant this bed this year. It's just going to become a bench area for me to work off of and have some trays. We're also looking into putting some shelving out here. The onions are doing really well, so I'm pretty excited about those. And I also got my other onion seedling mix, or our onion start mix from Johnny Seeds. So I will be planting those out actually sooner in most of the low beds and then the long tall bed. All right, so I'm trying to set this up so you guys can see what's going on over here in the Greenstalk. Here's the lettuce starts that I am going to transplant some of those in here, and then I'm going to also transplant some of those in the lower bed. The parsley is finally getting some of their true leaves. Got some earlier lettuce starts here. You'll notice they're actually doing better here, so it's something to watch. Little baby onion that had fallen out of one of our trays is doing pretty good. I've got some nice kale going on. We do have some little baby ants that are trying to get all the strawberry goodies. The peas seem to be doing really well. I did buy the bar attachments to help hold those peas out once they start flopping over. Got a bunch of strawberries going on here. So you can see probably in here somewhere, you might be able to even see one of the ants. Working on that pollen. So, is that a flying ant? Some sort of flying bug. But I do have a lot of empty trays, so I'm going to try to take these lettuce starts here and see how they'll do in the Greenstalk. And the concept here is just testing out the Greenstalk and early to see what I like using it for. This is my first year using it. So I'm just going to reach in here and put my finger underneath a bunch of the things, lettuces. This is a mixed batch of a few different types. So get some roots out. I actually don't care about the fact that there's more than one here, and I'm actually going to put it in a tray that already has some lettuce too. Just poke a hole and put it in. I watered the Greenstalk earlier, so the soil is damp already, which is good for doing these. So again, just try to pull a bunch of these out. And I'll choose another one that already has some lettuce in it. Get a little hole going there. I'm not going for heads of lettuce. Some people really prefer that. I actually just pick off the leaves, the outer leaves. So on a plant, I'll just continuously pick the out leaves so that I can keep going and I get a lot more. And then I'm only picking what I actually am using for that meal, which seems to work pretty good. So here is just a bare root, single plant here. Try to angle it up a little bit. I'm just going to sprinkle some of these in here, and that also gives some space for some of the lettuce up here in this corner to start growing a little bit more. And so the temperature at the 5-6 foot range tends to be 80s most days without any any ventilation in here. And so I do open the doors of the door in the back here. I do open that most mornings, targeting by 10 o'clock, especially on sunny days. And then eventually we will start opening up the sides like we always do, but not right off the bat here because we are still having some cold nights. Unfortunately, we're going to test some of this stuff out a little bit because we are expected to have some low 30 to high 20s Fahrenheit coming. So we'll see how that goes. As I do this, I do try to angle these up and out. I, again, never used the Greenstalk before, but I'm assuming that will work best. So, all right. That is just this little corner, but now I've filled up a bunch more spaces here in the Greenstalk. So I'm going to continue to let this grow and see how it goes. Previously, we've used most of the greenhouse for our hot peppers only. And so now that we're kind of branching out a little bit and changing things up, I want to have some really early season tomatoes. I'm toying with the idea of doing a bunch of different types of tomatoes in here for early season. So I might do like one of each of the varieties that I'm growing and see how they do for early, so that I can know what to do for next year. First salad of the year. Got some onions, kale, lettuce, mustard greens. Spinach isn't quite ready yet. This is the spinach here. Got a bunch more lettuce and spinach coming. Here's the mustard greens I just picked. Got some more lettuce over here. Here's some more of the kale that I picked from. And I picked a few of the kale leaves out of the Greenstalk here in the Hoophouse. So you can eat, I think, these little pea shoots, but I just want them to grow into peas, so I'm not going to pick them. So again, you got kale and scallions and lettuce here, little baby lettuce, and mustard greens. It'll be a little zesty. spicy?